Hi, friends. Welcome back and happy Thursday. This is Miss Barry here for our reading skills lesson for the day, and I have loved talking about nonfiction text features with you this week. So let's keep going. Today, as it has been all week, our target is I can identify text features in a nonfiction book. So let's do mirror with words. I can identify text features in a nonfiction book. Great. So we're going to continue to look at text features today in a new book that I want to look at. But before we do that, I have a song that I want to share with you that will help us to keep our mind thinking about the text feature. So let's start with that.
Leo here just found out he has to do a report on sloths. He checks out a nonfiction book. The title is All About Sloths. This is a little bit different from the fiction books that he's been reading. It's got all these text features. Those are the things that draw his eye to important information and help him understand all the interesting facts. Leo's gonna use those text features to find his way around the text. Yo, Leo opens the book. It looks like nonsense till he looks in the front for the table of contents. It's nothing like the table in his kitchen. It lists big topics with a short description. Leo sees chapter 2 is called Sloth Habitat. Starts on page 15. He flips to that at the top of the page. Just as expected, it says Sloth Habitat in very big letters. That's called a heading. It helps him figure out what the section of the book is all about. There are subheadings too. The chapter's divided by smaller headings like trees. Big letters. That's called a heading. It helps him figure out what the section of the book is all about. There are subheadings too. The chapter's divided by smaller headings like trees and climate. Leo sees a picture that makes him laugh. A sloth hanging from a branch. That's a photograph. It was taken with a camera, put in the book to show us how a sloth really looks. Underneath the photo, there's a quick description. That's a caption. It tells you what's in the picture. Leo starts to wonder, what's a sloth diet? There's a text feature that'll help him find it. It's called the index. All topics of importance are listed in the back in ABC order. Leo spots diet. That was easy to find. It's on pages 7 through 9.
Feeling lost in the book that's not fiction. Text features will point you in the right direction. The captain has a compass, a pilot has a map. You can use text features to find facts. Feeling lost in the book that's not fiction. Text features will point you in the right direction. The captain has a compass, a pilot has a map. You can use text features to find facts.
Leo keeps reading. It's making him think. He sees that some species of sloths are extinct. Extinct is bold. What's up with that word? It's bold because it's something new to learn. It could be italicized or underlined. Want to know what it means? It's easy to find. In the back of the book, there's something called a glossary, where new words are defined properly. It's an ABC order. Leo looks through the list. He sees extinct means it no longer exists. Now he's flipping through the pages. Hang on, man. He spots a cool image called a diagram. That's a picture that shows different parts of something. So Leo knows how it works, how it functions. There are labels that point out different parts, like stomach, lungs, and his loving heart. This table compares sloths to giraffes. We can also compare with a chart or a graph. These are visual ways of organizing data. So long, sloth. We'll see you later. Peace out. I said we'll see you later. I forgot how slow these guys are.
Feeling lost in the book that's not fiction. Text features will point you in the right direction. The captain has a compass, a pilot has a map. You can use text features to find facts. Feeling lost in the book that's not fiction. Text features will point you in the right direction. The captain has a compass, a pilot has a map. You can use text features to find facts.
Awesome, my friends. I love that rap there that we just listened to because it keeps me fresh in my mind thinking about why the author uses text features. The author doesn't use text features just to do it. The author does it because it helps us, the reader, to better understand. So when I'm trying to find important information, those text features help me. It's pretty cool. So today we're going to read a new nonfiction book together, and we're going to read it once all the way through with no interruptions just to learn the new information. The second time we look at the book, we're going to go page by page and see what text features we can find on there. So I want to remind you of all the things that we've been studying, just like what was in that video. And we're going to use those things and see if we can find them in our book. Let's get started. Okay, today the book that we're reading together is called Vibrations Make Sound. Here's our table of contents. What is sound is on page 4. What makes sound is on page 11. Can you make sound, page 16, and a glossary, page 23. Awesome. So here's our first chapter. What is sound? Sound is everywhere. Sound is what we hear. Sound moves through the air. Some sounds are short. This caption says you can't see sound. Some sounds can be loud. What makes sound? Sound is made when something vibrates. Rubbing things together makes vibrations. Vibrations are types of movement. Different vibrations make different sounds. Here's a picture of a boy. He has a violin. These are the strings on his violin, and this is the bow that he uses to play the music. Can you make sound? Clap your hands. Clap your hands harder to make a louder sound. Hands can vibrate against each other. That was kind of fun. Your throat vibrates when you speak. Say a few words. Put your hand right on your neck. You can feel the vibrations when you talk. Go ahead and give it a try. Hello, Miss Berry. Great. Okay. You can make quiet sounds. Rub your shoes on the floor. What other sounds can you make? Look at all these kids with their instruments. And then we have some important words in our glossary. Hear is to catch sound with your ears. Sound is vibrations that move through the air. Vibrates means that it moves quickly back and forth, and vibrations are small, fast movements back and forth. Oh, here's some instruments that make sounds. We have string instruments, the violin, viola, guitar, cello, piano. We have brass instruments, the trumpet, trombone, French horn, and tuba. And we have woodwinds, clarinet, flute, saxophone, oboe, bassoon, and recorder. All of those instruments are instruments that make sound. Interesting. Cool. All right, so that was once through with our book. Now we're going to look at our book one more time, and this time we're going to see if we can find any of the text features that we talked about on Monday and Tuesday. I have the words on the side here to help us. We have headings, photographs, caption, glossary, bold words, table of contents, a chart or graph, map, index, diagram, and labels. So anytime we see these things on our page, I'm going to move the word to show us where they are. So let's get started. Vibrations make sound. All right, here's this first page at the beginning of the book that we said is really important because it tells us the title of each chapter and the page numbers. Now, we're a little bit lucky because it's already labeled for us here at the top. It's called the Table of Contents. Can you say Table of Contents? Great, so let's label that. Even though it's already there, we're still going to put it on this page so we know we found it. Great, let's keep going. So here's our first page, and it says, what is sound? This up here at the top is kind of like a title, but we said it's called a, starts with an H. Yes, a heading. A heading is at the top of our page, and it tells us what these section is going to be about, what all of these pages will tell us about. Great. Do you notice anything about the words on this page? Great, I see it too. The word sound and the word hear are both bold. Those are bold words. Let's move that in here. We saw bold words. Great job. How about the pictures? We talked about a fancy word we use when the picture is real, like it's taken with a camera. We use the word photograph. So I'm going to put photographs up here because there are 2 photographs on this page. Awesome. All right, let's take a look at this one. What did we call those pictures again? Yup, still photographs. We can label them on this page too. Now, sometimes with our pictures, we have a small description near them that we call a caption. I'm going to label this one a caption. Great. Looks pretty good. Okay. Do we call this top thing a caption or a heading? Remember, this says what makes sound, and it tells us this whole section is going to be about. Is that a caption or a heading? It is a heading. If you said that, you're correct. Do you see any bold words on this page? Go ahead and point to them. Great. I see bold words right here with the word vibrates. And we still have photographs. I think there's photographs on every page. Let's take a look at these ones. So I think we can already move our photographs. We know that these are also photographs. Now, this right here, it's a little blurb on the picture that says rubbing things together makes vibrations. So it's giving us more information about the picture because that girl is rubbing the toothbrush on her teeth. She's rubbing them together. It's going to make a sound because of those vibrations. So this right here, is this a caption or is it a label? It's tricky. This one is a caption. A caption tells us what the picture is about. A label gives us the name for something specific. So this is a caption, but if we look onto page 13, we see the picture of this boy playing the violin, and there's lines coming off different parts of his instrument that tell us what it is. So this part is the violin, these are the strings, and this is the bow. So those are labels. So there's actually both on these pages. The caption is by the girl brushing her teeth. It tells us more about that picture. The labels are pointing to something specific. Do you remember the big name that we use when we say it's a picture that tells us specific parts of something? This is telling us specific parts of the violin. The name we use is diagram. This is a diagram of a violin. Great. And last, I do see some bold words on this page. So many text features. There are a lot of text features that we found so far. And the reason that the author is putting text features in this book is because it helps to organize the information so that we can better understand it. Pretty cool. Okay. See what things you can find on this page. I'll give you some think time. I wonder if any of these are the ones you were thinking. A heading, photographs. So this is the heading, these red words. The photographs are the pictures, and a caption. What do you see on these pages? Great, yeah, I see captions and I see photographs. We've labeled those a bunch of times. All right, let's take a look at this page. I see another photograph of some friends playing music. And I see this page that has some definitions of words. Now, it kind of already gave us the heading. Do you remember what this big word is? Glossary. Can you say glossary? Great. And a glossary gives us the definition of important words. So it gives us a definition of the word hear, sound, vibrates, and vibrations. That is the glossary of the book. It's usually in the back. Ooh, this one we didn't talk about much yet, but is it a heading? We could call the top of the chart the heading, yeah. Are there photographs? Is there a caption? No. Is it a glossary? No, there's no definitions. How about bold words? Is it a table of contents? It does look like a table, but remember the table of contents gives us page numbers, so it's not a table of contents. This is a chart. A chart gives us more information and it organizes things in a visual way. So if you look, I can see strings here and all of these are strings. Then brass, all of these instruments are brass. And all of these instruments are woodwinds. So it organizes our information for us a little bit better. Awesome. Now I have a question. We didn't use the word map and we didn't use the word index. How come? Does every book have to have a map? And does every nonfiction book have to have an index? No, they don't. So an author, when they write a nonfiction book, can pick and choose which text features they want to use that will be helpful for the reader to understand their information. The author that wrote this book didn't need a map because he wasn't telling us about places that something happens. And the author didn't use an index either, probably because this is a very short book, so we don't have to flip through a lot to find what we're looking for. But if it were a bigger book, they might include an index so that we can find specific information faster. Great job, my friends. You did a wonderful job with that, and I'm glad that you worked through that with me. Now, today you're going to go back in and we're going to keep practicing identifying our nonfiction text features. So today, instead of you matching a picture to the words, I want you to try to find the words that match a picture that's already on the page. So I'm going to show you your assignment today for Google Classroom, and then you'll be able to get started. So let me show you that. Today you're working on this, and again, I want you to pay attention because there are several pages. Page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4. We have to do all pages, but it's going to be really fast because each page only has 3 things that you need to answer. So you're going to look at the picture and decide what is this picture of. This one is giving me some information in a visual way. It happens to be a chart. So I'm going to show you how to label that. I find the words that say chart and graph and I move it. I'll do the first page with you. This one here has the letter A and it's got all the words that start with the letter A under it. This is normally in the back of your book and it's in ABC order and it can tell you some important words that you're looking for. Now, if you look closely, it gives you a definition with it. So it tells me what these words mean. When I find out what the definition of words are, I'm looking at a glossary. And this one here, this is part of our world. We call this a map. Yes, so I'll find the word map and I'm going to put it there. Great. So now you're going to go in and do the rest of these pages and tell me what it is that you see in each picture. Once all of your white boxes are filled in, you are finished and you can exit out and click Turn In on Google Classroom. So remember, my friends, you are working on our target. I can identify text features in a nonfiction book. Every picture that you're matching today is a text feature that we've talked about. So if you're having trouble, go back and watch our videos again to try to refresh your mind about what each thing is. But go ahead and get right to work. As always, if you have trouble, reach out to me or Mr. Nieves. You guys are rock stars. I'm so proud of how hard you've been working. Keep it up. Have a great afternoon.